strangers.
Welcome back to our podcast. I'm Gloria,
And I'm Karin.
and we're here for the company.
So how's your week?
My week was pretty good. We stayed home. I cleaned a lot. And then I went to see my mom yesterday,
Oh, yeah.
and we FaceTimed, and our moms got to talk a little bit.
I know we should have entered a screenshot. I didn't take a screenshot, though.
I know, neither did I. But it was so nice. It was so nice to talk to your mom and to see your dad. I was thinking about this morning. I have not had a conversation with your dad as an adult.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's different, that's for sure.
For sure. How was your week?
It was crazy. Oh my God. Nobody listening is going to believe me because I've come on here so many times and been like, I had strep throat. Still on antibiotics. I'm halfway through. But so we went to Michigan for my grandma's funeral. My grandma died in January. Don't everybody freak out. So we went to Michigan for her funeral. More like a huge family reunion. And my cousin's son kept throwing up. And I kept saying, is he okay? And they were like, yeah, he just gets stomach issues sometimes. And I was like, okay. And then we were with them for several days.
Right.
Sunday night comes and I'm like, my throat hurts. And Sean's like, it's probably just allergies. So I took an allergy pill, like always. So I took an allergy pill. And then I woke up in the morning and I was like, I have strep. And then, so we're in Michigan. And Monday I wake up and I'm like, my throat hurts. So I texted my cousin's wife and I said, hey, I think Alan has strep. And she was like, no, he had it in the winter. And I went,
okay. Well, he's got it now too.
Because he was thrown up and he had a fever and everything. And I was like, fine, whatever. So I wait. We drive all the way home Monday and I'm just like, I know I have strep. I'm going to go to the doctor on Tuesday.
Right.
Call my doctor on Tuesday. So then when they didn't answer for 20 some odd minutes, he just stayed on hold with me.
What? So you had to just sit there with this
I'm just laying
dude?
in bed. I can barely talk. My throat is so swollen. I'm in so much pain. And this guy's like, okay, 2 or 3 more minutes. And I'm like, I could have done this alone.
And how does he know how much time?
I sent a message to them. They're telling me they're dealing with patients. There's no way that everyone got through one of you people and they showed up late, I'm guessing, because I called right at the minute they opened.
So was this a call that you were making an appointment?
Yeah. And then I got through to them and they were like, well, the soonest appointment we have is 2:50 this afternoon. And I was like, just schedule it.
Yeah.
Hung up with them, went on, found a Tri-Health clinic, and they could get me in an hour. So I was like,
oh, beautiful.
Cancel my doctor's appointment. Yep. And I walked in and the guy came around the corner and he's like, Karen? And I stood up. He goes, oh, I've seen you before. And I said, yep. For the same thing.
Yeah.
So he strep tested me.
Definitely not normal.
Mm-mm.
I want to bet that they're going to take your tonsils.
I know. So I messaged my doctor and she said, here, call this number. So I have an ENT appointment. Not this coming Monday, but the following.
Oh, okay. I hate that appointments are so far out all the time.
Yeah.
It's kind of frustrating.
It really is. Just
sometimes at my doctor's office, I can't get an appointment for a month out.
For a normal thing.
Even if my kid has strep throat, do you know we have to go to the ER? There's no urgent care system in Kern County. I have to go sit in the ER. Thank God.
That's insane.
They built a hospital in Tehachapi. It's very small. And I go there. And they have the fastest service.
Mm-hmm.
So at least it's not too horrible.
I used to think urgent cares were for people who didn't have insurance and stuff, right? And then now it's all you can do.
Literally.
If you're sick, don't go to your doctor.
No, you're going to urgent care, which sucks too, because say you have to take your kid to urgent care. We used to have Kaiser and we used to have to go to urgent care, but they don't have pediatricians that are working urgent care. So you're not even seeing a pediatrician for your kid.
The medical, I mean, everything is broken.
Everything's broken.
That needs to be our merch, because I've been like, what's our saying? Everything is broken.
The world is broken.
Literally, someone said today, and I was like, ugh, that system is broken. And then my mom went, the world is just broken. I was like, Gloria and I say that every time. It may not make the podcast every time, but we say it every
Literally,
single time.
we have to cut it out because we say it too much.
Everything is broken. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you. My dad went to the gym this morning, and when he was on his way back and came and sat in the living room, he goes,
yeah.
So I got to the part where the lady's talking about rehoming children or putting them down. He's like, she's a real smart cookie. And then
an ad on Instagram came up with her, and I was like, who is paying this woman?
She's paying for ads? Oh,
yeah,
no,
she's getting paid for ads.
No, yeah. Well, we were in a store. We went to the Morrow Art Center, which is an old schoolhouse that now is filled with shops and stuff. But there was a card in one of them that says, hey, I heard your pet died or something. My dad was like, hey, you could send this to her. Like, I think it's been a little long.
Hey, I heard you killed your pet.
That was literally word for word what I said in front of my kids in a public shop. And so, so one of them went, she killed her pet? And I was like, no. Well, don't listen to me. And they're like, well, what do you mean? Don't listen to me.
Someone else killed her pet, but she set up the appointment. Okay?
Mm-hmm. I know my kids.
My sister thought that episode was wild too. She's like, "This woman is crazy."
Oh,
like clearly.
It's chilling video of two University of Idaho students hours before they were brutally murdered. Kaylee Gonzalez in the white hoodie and her friend Madison Mogan were at a popular food truck near the campus.
I would like the carbonara.
Look, one man appears to be watching them. The time, 1:30 a.m. After ordering, Maddie sees a friend and embraces him. When their food comes, Kaylee takes a short video to post on social media, and they walk off together.
Yeah, so we're jumping into the Idaho 4 today. Again.
Yes.
So much has happened.
Karin literally called this freaking plea deal.
It could still be a plea deal. Yeah. So what I think happened, because we're just jumping in.
Yeah.
I'm jumping in. I'm diving in. He was like, I think his lawyers did everything they could to get the death penalty out the table.
Same.
They were like, we're going to throw the kitchen book at this.
Mm-hmm.
And when that didn't work, it was like, okay, look, death penalty's on the table.
Yeah.
How bad do you really not want to die? And I'm kind of like, it just pisses me off. Like, if you did it, just say you did it. Don't go through those.
That's the point of like when people are arrested. I'm like, can you just be honest?
Mm-hmm.
But they never will.
Yeah. So I will say, last episode, I said that what I heard in an interview is that the 911 call happened because there was a fifth person that was unconscious. So no. So now that kid, what's his name? Austin or whatever. Whoever the friend is.
The kid from Sigma Chi.
Mm-hmm.
That they called that morning.
Correct.
Right.
So she sees Kohberger, and now I don't think Kohberger saw her.
Dylan?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think he saw her either.
Correct.
But I also think that even if he did see her,
he was exhausted.
I think he was too tired, yeah.
So Gloria and I are going to show you a video, but this TikToker shows like a timeline. I looked at like 4 different TikToks, and they're all pretty much spot on with this, but there's proof that Kohberger took a seat.
Yeah.
Like sat down to relax because he was so tired. And then when he was walking out is when Dylan saw him. So Dylan sees him. I don't think he sees her. She closes the door. She locks it. She comes into her room and she immediately starts texting. She texts the roommates that are all upstairs that are no longer alive. And there's one more roommate in the basement.
And she's asleep at the time.
Yes. But she finally wakes up. They wait they're texting, and then she convinces Dylan to come to her room. So she runs to that girl's room, and they basically hunker down for the night and wait.
In that video, it says that when Dylan goes downstairs,
she sees her
that
on the floor.
She sees Xana laying on the floor, to which my question is, why not call 911 immediately in that moment? When you see your friend on the floor, it's not normal for your friend to be lying on the floor, right? And is it so dark that you
we've
don't
been to
see
some
them?
different parties.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I went to one party when I walked out the front door in the morning and everyone was on the lawn.
Oh.
I was like, well,
I did not go to
Texas.
parties like that, Karin.
No one was on the lawn. They were just asleep in the dirt on the front lawn.
Yeah.
So was my phone.
Oh.
My phone was like, oh, there it is. I was like, all right, y'all, I'm going to head to work. I'll see y'all later. Because they all worked at the same bar as me. Literally showered there, put on my same outfit from last night when I left the bar and went to the bar. People are all passed out on the front yard. It's like,
that is a wild night.
So you never know where friends are going to be. You have to wonder.
I was going to tell you, when you sent me those videos and I watched them, it makes sense that he went down and killed Xana, because in the video she saw him, because she goes upstairs after hearing the commotion, and that makes total sense. And I think why he didn't see Dylan is I think he was maybe kind of taking it all in the moment, because if you think about it, he wasn't planning on killing anybody else, I think, other than Maddie.
Yes, correct.
And I believe he was so caught off guard by that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and processing everything, that maybe that's why he didn't see her. I don't even think he looked in her direction. I think he was just like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, and it's funny because we discussed last time, how did he not know he dropped the knife sheath?
Yeah.
Well, we will enter video 2 or 3 or whatever it is here.
In this illustration, we're going to start at 3:30 a.m. At this time, everyone is asleep except for Xana. Looking inside the home, we can see where everybody was. Starting at the 3rd floor, we can see where Maddie and Kaylee were sleeping. Maddie was sleeping on the edge of the bed, while Kaylee was sleeping near the wall. As we go out and drop down to the 2nd floor, we can see Dylan's room directly under Maddie's room. Continuing across the living room onto the other side of the home, we see Xana's room. She's sitting in bed scrolling on her phone while Ethan sleeps next to her. Minutes ago, she had just finished ordering DoorDash and has all the lights on while she waits. The last roommate to mention is Beth, whose room is on the 1st floor, directly below the living room. As most of them all sleep, Kohberger pulled into the neighborhood for the first time this night at precisely 3:30 a.m. We know this due to a home security camera that captures the intersection and records the coming and going of anybody that enters that neighborhood. As we continue, Kohberger drives past the home and notices that all the lights on the 2nd floor are still on. He drives on and loops around the apartment complex building. Because of the home security timestamp, we're able to know how long it took to drive this path. On his first pass, it took him 2 minutes and 38 seconds, and this is him leaving on the first pass. Now let's look at his next 2 passes and record the times. This is pass 2 of him entering and leaving. And now this is pass 3 of him entering and leaving. When we do the math, we can see how long he took each pass. The last 2 passes were normal without any stopping, but on his first pass, he took an additional 42 seconds to creep by the house, or even stop for a time to stare into the windows with the lights on. All this information has been coming from camera A, but there is a second camera located behind the apartment complex building, and we're going to call that camera B, located here. This camera allows us to see how long it took to get from point A to point B, and between the 3 security cameras' data, it took between 35 and 37 seconds. What this means is you didn't stop or park somewhere or go into a different direction. He simply drove straight from point A to point B at regular speed. These times help us understand the DoorDash delivery window. According to court documents, 2 times are noted. One is 3:59 a.m. and the other is 4 a.m. Bringing back our passage chart, we can see that the DoorDash time of 3:59 happens after Kohberger has left the neighborhood and before he returns for his last pass at 4:04. It is possible that the DoorDash driver saw Kohberger as he was parking his car, because a timestamp of 3:59 could be reflected when he took the photo of the food at the front door instead of the time he arrived. So it is possible he witnessed Kohberger staring at the windows as he drove by. Continuing, as the driver leaves, Xana turns off all the lights, sits on her bed, and scrolls on her phone as she eats her food. A few minutes later, Kohberger enters the neighborhood for the last time. But this time, as he drives by the home, he sees all the lights are off. At the camera B location, he turns around to head back to the residence as shown in this video. When he returns to the front of the house, he does something unusual, so much so that it's noted in the arrest affidavit. On page 6, it states, "When the suspect vehicle 1 is in front of Kings Road residence, it appeared to unsuccessfully attempt to park or turn around in the road." It goes on to say that he continued onto the intersection where he did a 3-point turn. This 3-point turn was captured on camera A, which has a timestamp of 4:06. He appears to be calm and not overly anxious with his driving. As he heads back in the direction of the residence, he takes one last look at the windows to make sure all the lights are off. As he begins to drive around the end of the apartment complex, camera B records the time of 4:07. Fast forwarding a little bit, Kohberger drives to the back parking lot away from other residences. He takes a few minutes looking around and sees that nobody's out and that all is quiet. He eventually grabs his things, gets out of the vehicle, and begins walking to the back of the home. At approximately 4:13 a.m., he begins to make entry. As he steps in, he takes a minute to make sure everything is quiet and that nobody is truly up. He walks to the entrance of the living room and looks around. He continues to be cautious and stands there listening. Feeling confident, he continues upstairs. As he makes his way to Maddie's room, the time is about 4:14. Meanwhile, 2 minutes later, Xana takes a break from TikTok and walks into the kitchen. Evidence shows her activity on the app stopped at 4:16. As she enters the kitchen, she's a little shocked to see the sliding glass door wide open. And at the same time, she hears a serious commotion going on upstairs. It's revealed that Xana's phone recorded steps and elevation change, which is how it's known she went to the kitchen and the 3rd floor. When she walked up to Maddie's doorway, she interrupted Kohberger, who had just finished an intense battle with Kaylee, who fought back violently. After a second or two, he notices her, and then she turns away. Being dark, Xana didn't realize what she was seeing other than a shadowy figure. Out of fear, she quickly leaves. A single source, unaffiliated with the media, claims Kohberger injured Xana on the 3rd floor hallway, leaving evidence of blood there. But this single source of information has not been validated by any more sources. Continuing, Kohberger, without thinking, pursues her all the way to her room, not realizing he had dropped the sheath of his knife. When he gets to the room, he attacks Xana, and the time is precisely 4:17:30. We know this because of camera A captured the sound of screaming and the thud. After attacking Xana, Kohberger focuses his attention on Ethan and attacks him while he slept. Afterwards, Kohberger must have sat down in a chair according to a report, which found blood smears on Xana's chair, perhaps from the exhaustion of what he had just done. This source also says that blood from the 2 roommates upstairs were found in Xana's room, showing that it was one person moving from one room to another. Kohberger sitting down was for less than 30 seconds. As he gets up to leave, Dylan, hearing the commotion from Xana's room, gets up out of bed and goes to her door to look out into the hallway. She freezes and sees Kohberger as he walks by and exits through the kitchen. She immediately closes and locks her door and retreats to her bed. Within 20 seconds of the encounter, she's calling and texting her roommates, but no one is responding. It takes Kohberger a minute and a half to get to his vehicle after the encounter with Dylan. But once in his car, he flees the scene at a high rate of speed and exits the neighborhood at 4:20. Dylan continues trying to reach someone in the house. And after 3 minutes of trying, Bethany wakes up and responds to the calls. They converse for 3 minutes, and then Beth convinces Dylan to come downstairs. The time is now 4:26 a.m. Cautiously, Dylan walks into the hallway and through the living room. As she approaches the staircase, she can see into Xana's room and sees her laying on the floor. She then runs quickly downstairs to Beth's room, where they lock the door, and for several hours continuously try contacting the other roommates.
So, you just watched the videos. It sounds like he dropped the sheath. He was upstairs in this bedroom, kills those 2, turns around, there's another person standing in the doorway, chases her down the stairs, and the doorbell, the Ring doorbell, when it records her screaming, ugh.
Dude, yeah, it also said in that video that it is to believed that he first injured her in the hallway because they found a lot of blood and it was Xana's in the hallway. So then she backs up into her room.
Yes. And in chasing her down is where he drops his sheath. So for all we know, it was on the top floor or the middle floor or in a living room.
I thought that they had found it on Maddie's bed.
Like maybe he just left it because
I think he dropped it within killing them too.
Okay. It's just
and
so
maybe
wild.
After seeing Xana in the doorway, he was like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I can imagine when you're murdering people that it's a little stressful, right?
Yeah. And this man he's a Ted Bundy. Like that's what everyone was like. He looks so cold. He looks so composed.
I don't think he has any empathy at all. I don't think he has emotion towards it. I think he's just whatever.
Recently I was watching the behavioral panel. They were reacting to a girl who had killed someone, and they were like, she's not evil, she's empty.
Well, and that's the thing that he said about himself when he was 15, and he wrote on a website. I don't even know what website it was.
Okay.
And this is in the documentary. So if you don't know, a documentary came out within the last week, I believe, about this case. And in that, they talk about a website that he had posted on previously when he was 15 years old. And he talks about how he has
the white noise.
Yes. It is called visual snow. It's a disorder that causes you to see static. Some describe it as seeing things in a snow globe that's been shaken up.
Do you know who else has that?
Who?
Mangliano, the guy who shot the
CEO.
Yes,
the health.
He also has that.
Yeah. So he calls himself in this post that he makes. He says he is a blank soul.
Oh.
It seems like that visual snow can actually cause you to be mentally unstable, it seems like.
Yeah.
I can imagine that just driving you nuts, right?
Yeah. Well, and I did read that he became a vegan like years ago. And he did find that helped. I think he did that like in his early 20s. And he became like a strict vegan. Like literally, if your pan has touched me, it can't touch my food type thing. Right. And that helped. And people were laughing. They're like, well, I doubt he's going to get those meals in prison. But that, he says, like helped. I don't know. He did all this research and found being vegan helped him curb those symptoms. I can't imagine having those symptoms and being able to get your degree and stuff. Like that's so shocking to me.
I know. Also, Are you aware that he was a heroin addict?
No.
Really? Neither was I. So in the documentary, it talks about how like after
Is he
high
in the same
school,
prison as Murdaugh?
right after high school, because of the issues socially
Mm-hmm.
and because of this visual snow, he started turning to heroin.
Natural.
And he said, I guess one day he stole his sister's phone. So his dad called the cops on him. And he ended up being arrested and he had to go to rehab. And then after rehab is when he went to school and he got all these degrees and seemed like it was he was turning a new leaf.
Yeah.
His parents were so proud of him. They were like, wow, like heroin is said to be like the drug that is the hardest to get over.
Yeah.
So they were just so proud of him.
Makes me wonder if he was ever really on heroin. But I will say I've had friends that were heroin addicts and went to rehab and came out clean. They don't always stay that way, but
Right.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder too, did it say why he went on it? Just the social stuff?
Just the social stuff and the visual snow stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking was like if you have that, gosh.
I mean, if it could drown it out and it was really bothering him that much.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah. But in that post he talks about when he was 15, he wrote on a website that the fuzziness in his vision was making him feel like all of the demons in his head were mocking him. So he did have some mental issues going on. He makes a comment that he's just a blank soul. Something is wrong with him and that he has delusions of grandeur.
I mean.
So.
Yeah, it sounds like a psychopath.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
We don't come here for the facts. We're not diagnosing. We're just saying
no.
It sounds like what we would call a psychopath. If we were dating him, we'd be like, wow, you're a psychopath.
Right. Which a lot of people that like, there was a girl that did go on a date with him and he was very creepy. And she said she invited him back to her apartment and he was like touching her and like tickling her and she was like, why are you doing that? And he was like, I'm not. And she was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. He follows her to the bathroom and she's like weirded out, right? Obviously. So she closes the door and she says she pretended to throw up and so that he would leave. So he leaves and get this, he texts her, thanks for the date. I had a wonderful time and you have great birthing hips.
Oh, Lord.
She said, yeah, I immediately blocked his phone number.
There needs to be a hotline where we can report these people.
Seriously.
Always watch him. Because that's insane.
But the documentary had 4 friends. I guess they were friends with all of them, all 4 of the victims.
Okay.
But mainly Madison. I feel like Madison was friends with everybody.
Yeah.
And these 4 actually, they all got tattoos for Madison.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they just gave insight of like who they were as people and friends. And so that was kind of cool to learn more about them and what they were all about.
Yeah.
And then it talks about Dylan. And I don't know if they're getting their information from Dylan herself because they seem to know a lot about what she saw. They don't know anything about what Bethany saw, the other roommate.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
So I do know like when everything kicked off, and it's part of why there were ever, what do you call them? Gag orders. One of the roommates was like, I don't want the world to know my name. I don't want to talk to anybody.
I can imagine that was probably her then.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be involved either. That's scary, right?
No. And especially like in the beginning, they didn't know
who it was or Yeah.
We come to find out, I think they knew pretty early on who they were kind of looking at, but still.
They did. And in the documentary, it says that the FBI was watching him for a while before the arrest.
Yes. So like they collected ring body cam footage or body cam.
Right.
House footage.
Yeah.
Like literally the day after.
And it seems like there's only 2 cameras.
The 2 cameras that they show surrounding the house, camera A and camera B. But I believe there were several cameras. They knew what road he went down, right? So, or what road the car had kind of gone down. And so they took what they could, I think, down that route and found the car. So they knew it was a white Hyundai Elantra. So they searched, and because they thought they knew where he went, they searched the students that had white Hyundai Elantras.
Right.
And found his name. So we're watching him. Because I think he was the only one of the years that they needed. So supposedly, I did look into it. His thesis was written on how to commit the perfect crime. No one has released it. I'm sure somebody has access to it, but no one has said anything. But there's basically a guy on Reddit saying, I am a doctor of psychopathy or something. And I would love to read it if anyone has his thesis, post it here type thing. But no one had, and so people were like commenting, and that guy said, y'all are insane if you think he's a researcher because he posted this one survey or whatever, because this survey shows he doesn't know what he's doing. And he was a doctoral student.
Right.
But also, anybody can get a doctorate.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. We got off topic, but
right.
Originally, when we were talking about, he dropped the sheath in the bedroom. But now I don't remember what I was going to say.
Were you going to talk about the 911 call?
Yes. That's what I was going to talk about. Okay.
The 5th roommate.
The 2 roommates are in the bottom floor. They know that what's her name is asleep on the floor. That's what we were talking about.
Yes.
Or on the floor. So they call the friends that end up coming over. He comes over and they're like, we want you guys to come check on the house. We're worried and we don't want to leave the room without anybody here. So they come over.
Right.
Search the house. They don't find anyone. He walks in that room, sees them. And that scene, I guess, was the first bloody mess, right?
Yeah.
So that's when he backs out and says, call 911. There's someone unconscious in the room. I think he was wanting to spare the girls.
Oh.
So that's why they then call 911 and say, our friend is unconscious and not waking up. They don't know the extent of what he just saw.
Right.
And so when they hand the phone to him, I think they're like, well, you saw it. Here, take the phone. And I think he's also like not wanting to say because he didn't tell them. So he's like, here, take the phone back type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they didn't know that everyone was dead until even the police got there. So that's where I messed up was I thought he did that while on the 911 call. No, he told them to call and say someone was unconscious.
Right.
Because I think, he didn't want them to panic.
But in the 911 call, I swear I hear somebody say, Xana, Ethan.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's weird. I don't know why they would call and say somebody's unresponsive.
Well, he didn't tell anyone that they were in there covered in blood.
Right.
It's so sad because all 4 of them lost their life because this guy thought he could commit the perfect murder. Drove his own car to the scene. Was caught on every flippin' ring camera from here to Timbuktu.
Yeah.
Left the sheath he bought off Amazon in the crime scene with his DNA all over it.
Yeah.
And then returns to the scene.
But that's what murderers do.
Yes.
I truly believe he wanted to know if the cops had been called. He wanted to see the scene. Murderers like that.
No, he's unstable.
Clearly. An attorney in the documentary that I watched,
Yeah.
he asks a question that I think is pretty interesting.
Okay.
He asks, with Kohberger's choice of studying criminology, was it a desire to be a good guy and investigate crimes? Or was it a desire to understand his own motivation, his own demons?
Mm.
I was like,
You know what's
what
funny
a great
about that
question.
is like even Ed Gein. Do you know who that is?
No.
Or Ed Gein. I think it's Gein. He's a famous serial killer, and he started with his grandparents. Like, killed his grandparents when he was 18. They put him in a mental facility, and then he talked his way out, and then came out and killed a lot of people.
So
Anyways,
many people.
he used to hang out
Mm-hmm.
in a bar with cops. Like he actually even was friends with them, and he used to try to get on the police force all the time, and they kept saying like, yeah, maybe next year you can. Oh, Mindhunter, have you ever seen that show?
No.
Oh, well, it's good. The book Mindhunter is written about the guy who originally started the behavioral unit in the FBI,
Okay.
and he started that by going and interviewing these serial killers, Ed Gein being one of them.
Okay.
And he was like, why did you do it, and da 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 da. And he would help solve cases. Like, they'd be like, here's our crime scene, who
Right.
would this guy be? And he would say like, this is what you're looking for. So that's kind of how they got to think like, oh, we need to think
know what
mentally.
show you're talking about.
Yeah, the lead guy,
It always looked interesting.
is the king. So it's based off the book Mindhunter.
Okay.
And I think Daria's reading it right now, and she told me I really need to read it. But it's just how they began to think, like, we need to examine the brains. Like, we need to think about how these people are thinking.
Yeah.
And they haven't said it. I mean, I don't know if they've said it. I haven't looked into this. But I would guess that once the police in Idaho thought they knew who they were looking at or looking for, my guess is they had the FBI create a behavioral synopsis, like what the person who committed this murder would look like. And my guess is he fits.
I think he does for sure.
Whatever it looks like, he fits.
Did you know that the defense came out when he was first arrested with an alibi for him?
Oh, yeah. Driving around and looking at the stars.
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Well, and they said it was because he has this disorder where he sees snow. He likes to drive around at night. Yeah, that's gonna be my alibi if anyone ever asks.
So silly. I can't. At 4:00 in the morning. Sure. He also wrote a paper on how to conduct a crime scene. And the paper he wrote describes a woman who was just stabbed to death. So I think it's something he thought about.
Yeah. So he created a survey. So that's something to remember about this is everyone is like, oh, this must have been Brian Kohberger's Reddit. I mean, it does have his name, not the Reddit, but the crime. It's called the Crime Research Study. So I was going to read it to you. He compiled this probably as a graduate school research project, honestly. And he put it on Reddit as like, are you a criminal?
Okay.
Have you ever been to prison type thing? Fill out this form. And some of the questions are, what's your age? What's your gender identity? What sex was assigned at birth? Are you Spanish? This was weird. Are you Spanish, Hispanic, or Latino? Sir, I don't think you know
weird.
what Spanish. Also, Hispanic. What? Explain. Is that all Mexico?
Right.
Is that all South America further? Like,
well, and a lot of people are Hispanic, but then there's a lot of people that say they're Mexican. I don't understand any of it, but
Spanish is very specific, though. You want people from Spain?
Right.
And it's just, are you Spanish, Hispanic, or Latino? Yes or no? Are you brown?
Do you like to listen to Spanish music?
Right. Choose one or more of the races you consider. What is the highest level of education you've completed? Have you ever been incarcerated? What age were you when you committed your most recent crime? Which category best represents your most recent crime? Property, violence, drugs, others. Were you convicted of your most recent crime? Yes or no? Did you commit the crime alone?
Are they basically saying he wanted to know what other people were doing so that he
So we're
could,
about to, yeah. So here's where it gets juicy.
Okay.
Did you commit the crime alone? And then it says, at the time of the crime, please indicate the following. Were you employed? Were you under the influence of drugs or alcohol? Were you experiencing issues with your family? Were you affiliated with a gang? What was your first offense? And did you struggle or fight with the victim? Bro, that don't fit on that list. That should have been on the next list. We don't even know if there's a victim.
Yeah.
Then it says the following open-ended questions provide you with a chance to anonymously detail your experience committing your most recent criminal offense and any important information, important actions, emotions, or thoughts should be thoroughly detailed. How was your life right before the crime occurred? Did you prepare for the crime before leaving your home? If you did, please detail what you were thinking and feeling at this point.
Weird.
How did you travel to and enter the location that the crime occurred?
I'm sure they didn't take their own car.
After arriving, or they're prison bound and they're just like, roll up.
Yeah. Yeah.
After arriving, what steps did you take prior to locating the victim or target? Please detail your thoughts and feelings. It's eerie.
He said,
having
let
seen
me
those
in your
videos.
Head, okay? Let me in your mind.
Why did you choose this victim or target over others? Before making your move, how did you approach the victim or target? Please detail what you were thinking. What was the first move you made in order to accomplish your goal? So did you watch the video where he I'm sure you did, and we've already played it by now, where he walks in the house and then they say he stood there for a while?
Yeah.
I wonder if he got answers to this. And they were like, I hesitated. It took a minute to make sure the scene was clear. I don't know.
Well, I think he was also making sure nobody was awake.
Yeah. Well, because he was watching the lights, we think.
He didn't do a good job.
No. This is what scares me, because it says, what was the first move you made in order to accomplish your goal? He says this as a goal.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says, and that's what's hard, is knowing he's a research student. So because I work in research, I have one doctor that she researches, are we telling patients the cost of things? So literally she'll stand in a room with a doctor and the doctor will say, do you want a CAT scan or an MRI? Or I think you should get X, Y, and Z. And she's like, why do you think that? She's asking the questions. So I will say part of the research is being able to ask these questions, even though they're not sane.
Right. And also because he is studying what he's studying, that is all about getting into the minds of the criminal, right?
Yes.
So I think essentially, yes, he could have used this as research. But also the question is, did he, or was this just a ploy?
Or did he know
information?
Did he know that he was going to be using this as research? Or was he legitimately, I don't know. I wonder if he came across, let's hypothetical for a second. Hypothetically, he was scrolling Instagram or something, or one of his, someone knew Maddie, posted a picture of her.
Right.
He saw her and he started to fixate. He didn't realize what was happening, but he's like, I'm fixated on her. Then he puts out this survey genuinely as a part of his class, and he's getting responses, and he's thinking, how could I get into Maddie's house?
Yeah.
How could I get to Maddie's room?
Right.
And then he starts driving by there, and starts, or maybe he probably drove by there at one point to be like, oh, that's the party house. That's her address. Cool.
Right.
And then he finds himself driving there more and more. And yeah, I think I have not found proof. No one has shown evidence, but supposedly he had written her messages, but they were like the messages that are like hidden. Like you don't see them unless
Oh,
you go digging for them.
right.
So maybe he wrote her a message and, she didn't answer. So he's like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep driving by. And like maybe he's popping up places she is and she doesn't realize because he's in the back.
I really feel like he stalked her.
It's called surveilling.
Surveilling them. Also, in the documentary, they mentioned that Xana and Madison worked at a place called Mad Greek. In addition to their Greek menu, they also have a, quote, quasi vegan menu. So it's like kind of vegan, kind of not. I don't know.
Yeah.
And because he was vegan, they're thinking, could this restaurant be the connection and how he knew who Maddie was? Which makes sense. It's just speculation right now.
Yeah,
Nothing's
it all
been
is
confirmed. Yeah.
So
But
I will.
it does make sense. And he could have followed her home at any point.
You can't tell me the address for that house hasn't been posted before.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So he like knew. And there's probably a like known, because it's a sorority house of some sorts, right? So it's like, okay,
yeah,
X, Y, and Z lives in that house currently. So it's probably like known. And did you hear the story of the mom who her daughter used to live in that house?
No.
And she had just moved out.
Yes.
But then she was supposed to go back that night. Did I tell you that story?
I don't know if you told me, but I think, wasn't it that she had moved out because she was no longer going to that school?
Mm-hmm.
Like she had graduated or something.
Yeah. But her parents were out of town that weekend.
She just was going to go hang
out. But because her parents, something happened and her brother couldn't watch them or something. So she had to stay home and watch her parents' dogs.
You did tell me. I think we talked about this in the last episode.
So because she had to watch her parents' dogs, she didn't go. But she would have been sleeping beside Maddie.
Crazy.
Bruh.
So crazy. Thank God.
That's some Final Destination shit.
So I think this documentary was good, and it's on Peacock. If you can watch the documentary, I recommend it. Because they did have really good points in there. So a lot of females in the class that he assisted said he was sexist and disrespectful.
I was going to ask you, did any of your research say he was on any incels lists?
Yes. The documentary said that he was an incel. Yes. They think he was an incel.
Do you know what that means?
Yes. It's somebody who's celibate, not by choice. Not by choice.
Not by choice, but also like they say not by choice and blame it on the women.
Right.
If you're not having sex, it ain't my fault. I did not choose for you to make that choice.
Yeah.
So yes, they call themselves involuntary celibates because women are so terrible.
Well,
they refuse
and also
to sleep with them.
It's not that women are terrible. It's that you're weird and you're creeping them out.
If you're on an incel page, guarantee you're creeping women out. Even if they don't know about that page.
They have great birthing hips. Unless you're my husband, I don't want to hear comments like that from you.
I feel like people probably told me that my whole life. Like,
and it's gross.
Childbearing hips. No,
they
what
have
it
problems.
is a moony butt, and that's what I got. Okay,
right. So he was described as very rude and not professional. And I didn't know this, but 11 days before the murders, he gets pulled into the office to talk to all the department heads, and they threaten to take his job away because they were getting complaints from women.
Yeah.
About his behavior.
Amen.
A journalist in the documentary asks, is it possible that when Brian Kohberger found out that women had complained about him at Washington State University, that this somehow triggered him carrying out these murders?
Very possible.
Which I think, if you're not in your right mind, like he clearly was not.
I think he was on the way, though. Like, I think he was already stalking her.
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah.
Also, after this meeting happens,
Mm-hmm.
a student comes forward and said that he followed her to her car.
Yeah, I've read
And
a
she
lot
was
of
creeped
stories like
out.
that. Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
reported it to the department heads, and that's why he loses his job. They tell him, you're not going to be renewed for next semester. We're done.
Yeah.
He was also reportedly arguing with a professor. I'm guessing the one that he was working for. Like they were getting into arguments.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is that story of the girl who works beside him.
The one where he broke into her house.
The story
Yeah.
with her, I've always heard it from her perspective that she was into him and he was not reciprocating.
Which is weird if you want relationship with women.
But it's very specific women.
True.
You're like,
which is also a murderer thing.
I mean, I'm not out like when I was
guess
dating,
you could
I
have a
wasn't out here-
type.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
My grandpa told me, don't marry a cowboy, marry a rancher. They own the land. Cowboys just work it.
Hey, that's true. True facts right there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before I met my husband, I only liked white boys. Then I met my husband, and I was like, I guess I like Mexicans.
You're like, going back to my roots.
Go back to my roots. Yeah, I didn't have any Mexican culture before I met my husband. Like, the culture that I know now is only because of him.
You say no Mexican culture, but I mean,
I don't, girl.
we grew up in.
Yeah, but like, I don't speak Spanish.
I was gonna say, do you speak Spanish now?
No.
Do your kids?
I understand a lot now.
Yeah.
I couldn't like speak it and like have a conversation with somebody. I wish that would be great because my father-in-law, he like only speaks Spanish. So like I don't really talk to him.
Yeah.
And then my mother-in-law, she speaks broken English. So sometimes there's moments where there's like a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
But we can have a conversation.
Because I worked at Burger Basket, I would learn.
Right.
I learned food, right? So I knew how to say
I know all the bad words and all the nasty things.
Yeah. Well, I remember this, like the ADHD thing where you remember something and it's like frozen in your brain. You forever feel bad about it. Yeah. I don't know what this family actually ordered, but what they got was like 12 chicken strip baskets. And when I handed them to them,
they were like, what is this?
They were like, this, no. But they spoke Spanish and I spoke English. And I was like, Pollo.
You're like, I got it.
I got it.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you want.
I still don't know what they ordered. But I remember very vividly handing it to them through the drive-thru and them being like, I do remember people's orders, though. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
She used to come through and get zucchini fries and lots of ranch.
Dude, their zucchini fries were huge.
They were. When I started working at CarMax and we met some people after we were married, but anyways, I'm working at Burger Basket and one guy's like, you're from Southern California? Do you know where I can get some chili cheese fries around here? And I was like, yeah. Not good ones. Like around
like
here.
Where you live?
Yeah, no. Because Cincinnati doesn't have chili. They have Skyline.
What the heck
and
is
it tastes
that?
like dog shit. It looks like throw up. If I sent you a picture of Skyline, in fact, you could probably find it in your grocery store in a can called Skyline chili.
I'll have to look for it and I'll taste it and I'll tell you how I feel about it.
You don't even have to taste it. Just pour it out and tell me if you'll eat it. Tell me.
I always feel bad for people that move away from California because I do think that our food is some of the best, especially our Mexican food. We got some of the best damn food out here.
So good.
Did you try Tex-Mex when you lived in Texas?
Girl, Tex-Mex is all I know now.
Is it good? Do you like it?
No. I don't eat Mexican at a Tex-Mex restaurant.
What is Tex-Mex? Like, if you had to describe it, what would you say it was?
Like a white people's Mexican food. Like,
They're hard shell tacos, like Taco Bell tacos?
Mm-hmm. But they think they're amazing, okay? And, like, they'll have a salsa bar. And I'm like, no, I'm not touching that crap. No, and it sucks. Because every other state thinks this is nice.
Right.
And it's like,
and you're like, nah, bro.
I will say, one year we were in Valpo, Indiana, with Sean's family. We all rented a house, and we were staying on Lake Michigan. Mm-hmm. And we went down the street. There was this place. It looked like an adult entertainment club.
Oh.
But it was a taco shop. And I will tell you, the tacos were good. My kids still talk about those tacos because they were able to get, it was called a pizza taco. And they're like, Mom, remember that time we had pizza tacos? I'm like, yes. One's tacos were good. We took up half the restaurant because it was a itty bitty place. And when I tell you it looked like an adult entertainment center, like the waitresses were dressed like it was an adult entertainment center.
Like strippers?
Yeah. But
no shit. What did your kids say?
They were just like in tube tops and short.
Oh, okay.
You know, we could see booty and cheeks and all sorts of things. But it was like, that's what they normally wear.
Right.
And the kids didn't say anything about what people wear. They don't notice unless we say something.
All right. Should we talk about the plea deal now?
Yeah.
Not that there's much to talk about.
No. Y'all have to know. when this was coming down, Gloria and I were texting each other. We're like, shut up. He is not taking a plea deal.
So I am part of the Law Nerd Club. I downloaded Emily D. Baker's app.
Oh, I did too. Yeah,
because I wanted to, as soon as court was starting or anything, I was like, I need to know. Mm-hmm. I need notifications. And when this plea deal was happening, she sent out a message, and I immediately screenshot it and sent it to Karin. And I believe your response was, "Stop it."
I was like, this cannot, and I think I was at work.
I know.
And I was like, this cannot be happening right now. Cannot be happening.
It was crazy. And it was funny because we had just recorded that episode.
Literally the day before.
Yeah.
And
then the freaking information about
so we recorded the episode that came out this Friday. We recorded it
before
2 weeks ago.
July. Yeah.
On Sunday.
Yes.
The next day, Kohberger takes a plea deal. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me, because we knew that episode wasn't coming out for 1 to 2 weeks. Fine. So we were like, gosh darn it. Because now our episode's going to come out and it's going to be like gearing up for trial. And it's like,
it's going to be like old news.
Yeah,
I know.
It already took a speaking of bitch babies.
And while I was editing, I was like, do I even put this in about court? But then I was like, I'll leave it.
Mm. I mean, even the judge said, once we do this, you can't undo it. And I'm gearing up for a big jury trial, so you gotta make sure this. I don't know. Part of me is like, you were that afraid to die,
right?
Maybe don't kill people.
They, at the end of the episode, they state on July 2nd, 2025, he takes a plea deal, but there's messages from the families. Oh, I believe Madison's family and Kaylee's family. But I want to read what they said.
A lot of people said they were upset, and I understand. And Emily D. Baker's thing was, there are other victims. There are living victims.
Yeah.
Because the people that were in that house are victims.
And they would have had to testify.
They would have had to testify. And the prosecution ultimately owes them more than they owe the family. So had everyone in the house died, it might have been different. Right. But also, you want the conviction. So if the person is willing to say, I did it, and spend life in prison,
right? Let's
forego the death penalty. It is sad because, like, we talked about the death penalty last time, and we said, are we pro or against? And, like, knowing that he has this debilitating disorder and like all that stuff. It's so sad. And I think he deserves the right to be forgiven and stuff. But I also think like,
Yeah.
I don't think that's what made him like, he did this. He would have done this whether he had that disorder or not.
I think so too. I think it's just in him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people sometimes are just born that way or create this thing inside of them due to the issues that they have like in high school and stuff. I think he hated women.
Yeah, which is what an incel.
Yes, I think he just hated women. And I don't even think that there was a moment where he was rejected by Madison.
No.
I don't think they ever talked. I think she was his type of girl and probably got rejected by somebody that was blonde prior.
I think her not acknowledging he existed or knowing that he existed was the rejection. Like, that's what's sad. I wanted to read this real quick. So the definition of an incel, according to Webster's dictionary, is a person, usually a man, who regards himself or herself as being involuntarily celibate and typically expresses extreme resentment and hostility towards those who are sexually active. So not just women, but sexually active. So yeah, usually
this makes a lot of sense. Remember when I talked about horror movies and how they always kill people that are having sex? Maybe they're just incels.
Maybe it's that when you're having sex, you're easily distracted.
This is true. This is true too.
People not having sex tend to pay attention.
Okay. So at the end of the documentary, it says, on July 2nd, 2025, Brian Kohberger changed his plea to guilty on all counts in the murders of the 4 University of Idaho students. Upon hearing this bombshell development, some of the families released the following statements. We are beyond furious of the state of Idaho. They have failed us. This is from Kaylee's family.
That's so sad.
Brian Kohberger facing a life in prison means he would still get to speak, form relationships, and engage with the world. Meanwhile, our loved ones have been silenced forever. Which I can imagine how hard that is to hear that you no longer have your person.
Yeah.
Yet this man that did this heinous crime, he gets to live. And yeah, I'd be pissed if he spoke out, wrote a book, anything.
So I think there are laws against that. We can update at some point, but I believe even if you spend a life sentence, you cannot profit off your story. And that may be wrong. I don't know. There might have to be like an injunction or something. But
Emily D. Baker came out with another video.
Oh, okay.
And she was reading the documents that had been filed, like his plea document and stuff like that. And she was talking about in the documents, there were stipulations that if he did sell his story, that the profit from his story would go to the victims' families.
Yeah.
To cover any expenses like funeral stuff. So I don't know if that's like just in case he does sell his story.
Yeah, so that's how it usually is set up. And that's like what OJ had. Like, even though OJ was acquitted, it was like if he ever wrote a book about it, it would go to her family. And
which I think makes sense.
Oh, yeah. And like, same with him. Like, let him write a book. Heck.
Yeah.
Oh, I might read it. I don't know. He wouldn't. Let's be honest. If that man writes a book, he's not writing. But wait, who died? Not OJ.
OJ Simpson is dead.
I know. I'm talking about Kohberger. If Kohberger writes a book, if Kohberger writes a book, he's not writing it. He has a ghostwriter
Oh, for sure.
who's asking him questions.
Madison's father, we can actually put this behind us and not have these future dates and future things that we don't want to have to be at, that we should have to be at, that have to do with this terrible person. We get to just think about the rest of our lives and have to try and figure out how to do it without Maddie and the rest of the kids. So I think their perspective is like, he gets life and they're okay with that. They just want to not have to deal with him.
Right.
And not have to see him. Now I think they feel like, okay, now we can heal.
Yeah.
Because it's over essentially.
Yes.
And I hope that a lot of the live victims, I hope that they feel the same way.
I would imagine that prosecution ran this by them before they accepted it.
Yeah.
So ultimately he took the plea deal. He admitted that he did it. We know he's the killer. Nobody has to go to trial.
I am wondering when the gag order is done. Because I think they're going to soon. I guess there's a sentencing date. I think it's July 17th.
I don't know for sure, but yeah.
Don't quote me on it, but I think it's July 17th or around there to sentence him. And I believe they're going to drop that gag order. And I'm wondering if all the information's going to come out and if we're going to get to know any of the evidence that we don't know right now. And I'm wondering if the families and the friends are going to come out and talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
I hope there's some interviews. I hope they're going on podcasts.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to know. I want to know more.
I don't know that there's more to know. Like,
there has to be.
Like, what do you think?
There has to be more evidence. There has to be more information.
Oh yeah. I mean, we do know there's more because there's enough to convict.
Yeah. And enough where he's scared he's going to get the death penalty.
Oh, he would have gotten the death penalty.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too.
It's just wild. But yeah, this will probably be our last, unless something else pops off.
Yeah.
Our last
Unless there's like some interviews that we can cover or talk about with
or if
family
someone
attorneys.
wants to come on our podcast.
Yeah. But I think from here on out, this is definitely the last full video on this case.
Yeah.
If there is anything that comes out, we will definitely do small updates within other episodes.
Yes.
But other than that, I think this is it.
Yeah. There has been a lot of fallout from the Karen Reed case. I don't know if anyone wants an update video on that, but so much is currently still happening.
The Karen Reed trial be popping off.
There's more happening now in the Karen Reed trial than happened when they were investigating the Karen Reed trial.
We're getting some spin-offs, okay?
We are sure getting
the Karen Reed trial got some spin-offs right now, okay?
Oh, everyone's losing their minds.
Everyone's losing their minds. Everybody's getting convicted of shit.
Yes, okay. Let us know if you want a Karen Reed fallout video, because we definitely need to do that. There's so much coming out. My parents are in town, so Gloria and I might be filming a Ask Your Pastor video. We'll see. Thank you guys so much for being here. We're trying really hard, busting these out. Gloria edits a shit ton. I appreciate her.
Yes. We you know, I have more time during the week, so I sit down and get done whatever I can get done. And then there's weeks that like I'm not feeling it, and Karen's editing whatever she can.
Yeah.
I don't have a full-time job. I mean, I do, but I get to be home. So
we are moving. ChatGPT told us posting videos on Saturdays is dumb. So we're going to post our podcast and our YouTube videos at the same time. They're both coming out on Fridays, every Friday, Tune in. Let us know case suggestions, things you want to hear about.
Also, we just created a TikTok.
Oh, Lord.
So if you have TikTok, go follow us on there.
Read the description.
Seriously.
In doing that, I figured out I have no idea how to like have a link, and my Instagram wouldn't. Anyways, y'all, I hate social media, so this is just, if anyone
Make
wants
it
to figure
easier.
this shit out for me, that's fine.
This is why people have social media people that do their social media.
I literally had one for a year,
Yeah.
for my photography business. But was it a lot of money spent for no reason? Absolutely. Did I have to worry about it? Nope.
We'll figure it out though.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks for
We
coming
will
for
see
our
you.
chaos.
Yes. And we will see you all next week.
Yep.
Same time, same place.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.